Like I said, Mr. Existential Existence group. There was this group that was screwing around, and basically they were a bunch of retards, computer techie retards, pretty much using like technology to pretend like they were gods or something, and or basically magicians or something. And it's basically just a bunch of hacking at a bunch of trickery and fakeness. And it was really annoying. I was like, wow. Wait until you meet the reality. Like there are things that are really that powerful out there. That'll just. And it's like, oh well, that's what happens for you when you're becoming fake, when you're trying to be fake, pretending to be a god, trying to talk to other gods or something, or other people that are that powerful. Eventually, you find out the hard way. Like I say, I wasn't absolutely sure I wouldn't talk like the way I am. And generally, saying that you're Lucifer Star is basically a death sentence anyway, pretty much to people who first try and do it. Because that's why, I mean, like I said, there was a bunch of fake Lucifer Stars out there, and they were going after the real Lucifer Star. So they ended up killing a lot of other fake Lucifer Stars. Always assuming that the other guy is probably telling the truth. Because they knew. You know, it's like, they know they're lying, so. Anyway, so it's kind of funny. So they kind of did my work for me, so I didn't have to really worry about it. Like I said, I've been killed at least twice verifiably, or at least once. So, yeah, I mean, once you die once or twice, or a few times, like it's like, yeah, I'm over it. I've already died once or twice. Maybe this will be my last time. Like I said, being nuked was the most memorable and interesting experience. Everything just kind of went white and then stopped, and then like it was weird. Like I didn't feel it, of course. I didn't even really see it or perceive it. Like, it was just like that fast. Like, you know, you don't, it's just 1 minute and then the next minute, you're gone. Like there's no pain, there's no nothing. It's just, you know, and then things change. And I forget, there's a whole thing with it, but, you know, a whole thing as it changed and everything else. Like I say, people think there's no nanotechnology in this universe. It's like, yes, there is. You know, they have little explosives that can crawl inside of you and you won't even know it. It'll feel like a little prick. Feels like a little pinch, and then the little things inside of you, and then it's crawling up your veins, and the next thing you know, you feel all, and then you're dead. That's it forever. They're just a little explosive in the heart, stops the valve, you die, and that's it. That's how they can kill people. I've had like 5 or 6 of those, so that's how I know them so well. And I do remember a little program about that. I mean, a little project on that. Someone was doing that. So I was like, oh, great. Just what we need. Another easier way to kill people. Anyway, but that's what that is. Like I say, existential existence people were like, I forget how many of them there were. There were a couple, basically, and they were pretending to do all these trickery things and basically being like gods or people that had magic. And it's like, it's just science. Get a life. You know, like Anonymous, basically harassing people, isolating people, and fucking with them. It's like, get a life. Like, you swear. It's been 100 trillion years. Just about anything's out there. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, that one time when the Earth actually felt like it shifted. It probably did shift. Like, I definitely noticed particles coming apart, and we were basically air for a minute. So, I mean, to me, which I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but basically all the molecules separated for a second. Basically, I saw the room basically flying apart and when there's space between everything, almost. And it was almost not, but not quite, like fuzzy. And then we were somewhere else, back together. And it's like, yeah, that was a shift of some kind. So we shifted. So anyway, I don't know if anybody else, you know, I saw a little more of a time lapse, like 2-second interval of like, or a second and a half or a second interval of basically watching the particles separate. And I was like, wow, that was trippy cool. Like to me, it was like, I was like, that is so fucking cool to see all the molecules just like separate and like float up a little bit. And then basically, like that was trippy cool. Anyway, I'd never seen that before. That was the first time I ever saw that. So that was definitely a shift. No doubt about it. which is only mildly more less notable than the time I got nuked, and basically I saw this ripple effect coming through the air and going, and they went, and then like everything in front of me actually rippled. Like there was, it was almost like there was a shield, or like the walls didn't ripple. It was like there is something in front of me, like a shield or something, or a divider between the room, about a third away from the wall, and it rippled. It's like, I don't know what the fuck that just was, but and it kind of followed like a nuke being like about 200 or 300 feet up, and basically that way, a ways. So I was like, yeah, that was trippy. Cool. Anyway, so not sure what that was. Probably a nuke, which is only just a little bit more different than basically what was that? Probably a cruise missile, possibly, or just someone fucking with me. But the ripple effect, now that was visual, and that was some next level stuff. Basically, Mr. Existential Existence, they could probably do that. There's a lot of ways of doing that. You can fuck with your eyes, you can fuck with your brain, you can make you see things. You know, I mean, it's basically kind of like what LSD does, only you can do it electronically and stuff like that. It's like, you can also be fucking with someone's cell phone too. So, you know, that's why I don't get tripped out or anything. It's like, even when the room seems to move, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like I played with nanotechnology. I know they can simulate a world very easily. Like I saw them simulating ice and all kinds of other stuff, and there's this intricate, like, it was like a hexagon or polycone. I can't even describe how it looked, but it was like silver and black or something like that. I forget. I wish I could remember it. Like they showed me a couple different shapes, and I can't remember exactly most of them. I just have like brief little bits of it. And like we played for a good long time. Like they showed me all kinds of cool things and amazing things, and I was just like, I kicked it for them for like what seemed like years or days. It was a long time. Like I say, I mean, I got an experience all right. Like I say, most people would consider my experience priceless. Most people would pay to have lived my life for like a couple minutes when it was good. All this time was Brian's basically like after sludge. But like for a while there, I mean, like to feel the love of every person on a planet or all my life forms, like there were things that's like, yeah, wow, you know, to feel what it feels like for people to love me and love me like that, and to actually feel what it feels like to actually be inside of people, and to also feel like 5 million people having sex all at the same time, basically. Like some of those feelings are like it's addictive. You know, it's actually addictive. For 2 or 3 seconds, feeling that was like drugs can't compare. They really can't. Like there's nothing that feels like that. And I'll always have those little happy memories in my mind. You know, it's like, you know, and also to the feeling that it feels like to actually own a country, to actually have people in a country. And like I remember when I was like 9 years old, I was falling asleep and I was like, I have people. and I was falling asleep because I owned my first country and I had people. And like that feeling, that bond that you get from owning a country, and basically like you have people that depend on you and you're now the leader of a country. And like I fell asleep going, my people, I have people. And I was only like 9 years old. I was like 8 years old or 7 years old. And it's like, it felt good. It was nice. I went to sleep and slept really well because it was like, you know, like I had been, and there was times when I was denied, when I was going to be denied the love or the feeling of the people, or to even feel, or even to remember that I had people, you know, and I was able to still experience that, yeah, and to feel that, the feeling of that, having people. It's so funny because I was like 9 years old and I was like, I have people. And I just fell asleep right there, this little kid, you know, and it's like, I'm the leader of a country and people. So it was silly because, you know, I was just like, oh. Anyway, these are all experiences that I've had throughout my lifetime, from when I was 9, and also like inventing everything when I was like a 6-year-old. And like I say too, the headaches that I got, I mean, I kind of left all these videos as kind of like a diary to kind of, because nobody was really around other than maybe some artificial intelligence AI life forms. They found me first, and then others kind of found me, but, you know, they didn't really realize.